Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Just stay tuned. Let others join in. By the way, I hope all of you are using the same email ID which I have or I have added in Google Classroom. If not, just message me, because the thing is that what I'm doing is that because it is university is having this recording facility and others in the Google Meet. I'm not taking your attendance because based on the Excel sheet generated after every class, I know which email has logged in at what time and which is logging out. So that's why I'm not taking any attendance. Okay. So in case you are using some other email ID, even if your name is mentioned there, it's okay. Otherwise, I have a list of email IDs received from all of you. That is from your heads, and that is what I added up in the Google this classroom. I'll be sharing my last 2 lectures and today's lectures, 3 lectures slide by say today or tomorrow. So you will be in case anybody is using any other email ID, just let me know because I'm having the Excel sheet based on email ID login and log out. Okay. Can't you hear? Is my audio breaking?
No, sir, not from my.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. It is
Okay.
breaking.
Main thing is that what I wanted to say is that if anybody is using any other email ID other than the one which your HOD sent to me, for my MCA and MTech IT students, I know you don't have to worry about that. But others, if you are using any other email ID, electrical, electronics, and this statistics, if you're using any other email ID from which automatically I cannot identify you, then let me know, because I am keeping your attendance based on the Excel sheet records after every class. Okay. Means at what time you have logged in and what time you have logged out. Means based on email ID. I'm not having your
Sir?
names written there. Yes, yes.
Sir, voice is breaking repeatedly. I cannot hear properly, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. I'll switch the mic. Can you listen to me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so main thing what I'm saying is that I am keeping the records of the class based on the Excel sheet generated by Google after every log off. Okay, so in case anybody is using any other email ID other than the one which your HOD has sent me or which I have added in the Google Classroom, just message me that email ID. I'll associate you with both the email IDs. Okay. Getting somebody might have in your Android phone some other email ID instead of the thing. So when you are logging in from an mobile, you are logging in one email ID. When you are logging in from desktop or laptop, you are logging in another email ID. So just let me know in case you are changing the email IDs. For MCA and IT students, that is not an issue. I have their details. The other students, in case you are using a separate email ID, just let me know, because I have your details based on the means logging and log out of the email ID. I don't have the names coming. Okay, I have the email ID. So in your email ID, if your name is there, then it's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if in case you are logging in with any other email ID, just put that in the WhatsApp group, so that with your name, say Vishal Pal, this email ID other than the other one. I'm just giving example of Vishal. This IT and MCA students, you don't need to do that. For you, I have the records. Okay, and few of you have joined. Others will be joining in. In the meantime, what I'll do is that I'll share my screen and I'll just show you what I was discussing in the starting of the last class. This is NPTEL domain. You can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
So So this is the NPTEL domain certification. I hope Vishal and others, you have seen that, isn't it? Vishal, Dipjyoti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there you see under this domain certification, once you click here, you get the domains. This is aerospace engineering. This is bioscience and biotechnology and bioengineering, chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science. You have the specializations AI, data science, programming, and foundations of computing systems. Then electrical engineering, electronics is inside the electrical engineering. So you have VLSI, communication and signal processing, power systems and power electronics, control and instrumentation, and photonics. And this is faculty discipline. You don't have to worry. Humanities, social science, management is there. So mechanical, metallurgy, these are the domains. For stats, I think you stat guys can do the computer science, data science part, or you can do the this programming part also, or AI also, because you are doing this AI course. So if you click any of the things, say for example, I am teaching AI, so I'm going into AI. So in AI, you will see the list of courses. In every semester, they'll see which are the courses. So core courses in AI are 4 core. The first one is AI search methods and other things. And the other one is this knowledge representation. Vishal, I think, is doing the search method, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Such method.
Okay, so there is option. You can do introduction to AI also. You can do this, because both will actually come under the first core. In either you do this one or that one. And you see here, programming, data structure, or Python for data science is there. So these are the 4 cores, and elective, they have to do any 2 out of this group. So you see deep learning, deep learning, different versions of deep learning are there, reinforcement learning are there, computer vision is there, natural language processing, then machine learning. So any of them can be grouped into that. So accordingly, this can be any of these courses. Okay. So if you see this, and if you go for, say, data science, means stats students, they can go for data science if they want. You have data analytics, data science for engineers, or data analytics with Python. So if you are not okay with this, you can go for data analytics with Python. Then you have a set of these elective courses. You see here the number of core courses is 3, unlike your AI. In AI, core courses are 4, electives are 2. In data science, core courses are 3 and electives are 3. So you can take any. So there are a lot of 9 electives from which you can do. And some of the data science and AI electives are overlapping. So if you can take judiciously, if you need both the certification, you can plan for around 9 courses and get certification of both AI and data science, which are the hotcakes of the market. Means these 2 are not restricted to computer science only. Anybody, whether it is IT, electrical, electronics, stats, mathematics, physics, they can all do these kind of courses. They'll get a certification, and for the MNCs and software companies, it is very beneficial. So that you can have a look. And similarly, this electrical guys can go for this power system, control instrumentation. Electronics guys can go for communication, signal processing, VLSI, or photonics. So these are there. If you want to do in your domain, you can see these specializations are there. You can have a look. I hope electrical, electronics, and stats. Any one of you have logged into this page, and have you seen that?
Sir, can we join those courses at any time of the year?
No, the timing is that they will actually float the courses every November, December, and the courses will start in January. And again in May, June, they will float the courses, and you can start the courses from July. Like now, the exams are going to happen, isn't it? Vishal, in August, you have, I think, completed the exam, or
Yes, sir. Python for data science is completed.
okay. And
Sir-
Dipjyoti, तुम्हारा अभी नेक्स्ट मंथ कुछ एग्जाम है ना? ओके, ओके, okay. Anyway, the main thing is that you have to get 60%. So that is the main important thing. whichever courses you go for, you have to get 60%. Means out of these 6 courses, normal pass mark is 50%, but for getting the certification, you have to get 60% in all the courses, out of which 25% is your internal marks and 75% is external marks. So those who have sat in NPTEL exams, they have the idea. But main thing is that if your department is offering some subjects like electrical engineering, our electrical engineering is offering power systems as a course. So some of the courses may match with the courses listed in the core. So if they match, the plus point is that you do your, when whatever madam is teaching, you do that. Along with that, you do a course. Like I am teaching AI, Vishal has taken up the AI course separately. So my AI syllabus is actually focusing on knowledge representation, search engine, neural networks, all of them. Means it is something like we are touching each and every field. Whereas the course that they have floated is search oriented as separate course and knowledge representation as separate course and data in details. Okay. So that kind of thing you guys can do. Like electronics guys have communication, a lot of courses are there. So if you are getting a MTech in communication engineering, along with that, if you have a specialization in communication and signal processing, so that may be beneficial for you guys. So that's why I was insisting on that. You can log into, it is nptel.ac.in NOC domain. And under domain, then there the disciplines are there. Actually, it is this, you can see discipline is there and this is the domain. So you go to the domain and then you select the discipline. So you can remember this nptel.ac.in/NOC and then domain. You go to the domain, then you can see. So many of you will be taking up various courses, but take it judiciously so that you can get 1 or 2 certifications, which may be helpful in case you are planning for the job market. Okay. So going ahead, I hope I can start now.
Sir, I had a question.
Yeah,
So-
tell me.
Sir, that one you showed, na sir, Python for data science, the
Yes.
first option. So
Yes.
it's written here core, but you gave na one PDF, so it didn't have that option. So I did that Python for data science. So will it be termed as my core subject? Or
See,
not?
the thing is that here I am not the deciding one. Once you clear all the 6 of any of the domains, you automatically get the domain certification. Getting?
Yes.
So it is, you don't have to mail them anything. You have to just complete one by one all the courses which are grouped into one group. And once you complete that, and this, remember, this is actually floating kind of thing. Why it is floating? Because this semester you have targeted Python for data science. Now that course is falling under AI also, data science also, programming also, and many other things.
Yes, sir.
Now after that, what is your next series of courses? That will depend on which certification you get. Clear? So you have taken AI, you have taken data science. These 2 are grouped in AI. Now you complete say 4 more courses from the AI group, you get a certification of AI. And then you see that out of those 6 courses that you have done to get your AI certification, 3 are common in data science, and then you take the next 3 of data science which you have missed out in the first 6. Then after completing those 3, you again get a certification for data science. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
the thing is that if you take a very good calculative choice, you can get 2 certifications instead of 1 by doing say 9 or 10 courses instead of 12 courses. You don't have to do 6 plus 6, 12.
Yes, sir.
Getting? So that
Yes,
is
sir.
same for electrical electronics guys or stats guys. If they want to do programming and data science both they want to do, or they want to do AI and data science both. So if anyone can plan accordingly and you take the courses, but remember these have to be done within 3 years. Once you start doing that, you have to keep your email ID same. Don't change your email ID because your roll number, whatever it is actually correlated with your email ID. So try to avoid changing the email ID with which you log in and have an account and take the courses. You have to get 60 in all the courses, minimum 60. Though the pass mark is 50. You may pass, say I have passed, but I didn't get the certificate. Why? Because you didn't get 60% in one of the courses. Getting the issue? Anybody still has any doubts? Okay, so I can start.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 20 plus of you are there. So going ahead, today I'll be discussing the physical symbol system hypothesis. So the main thing is that Newell and Simon in say 76, as I was mentioning Newell and Simon in the last class, they provided this physical symbol system hypothesis, which was considered as the heart of AI research initially. The main reason is that it is just say we have to define some entities, symbols, and other things. So coming to the binary term, if you remember, say electronics guys can easily understand that, or even those who have studied binary, you know that there are something called gates. So digital say relations in which you have done in your class 12th or something, say we have some binary numbers, and if you want to add, subtract, or whatever we do, you do using the digital gates, and these digital gates form smaller circuits, and these smaller circuits make the bigger blocks, and those bigger blocks are say what you are having, a microcontroller or a big digital circuit, whatever is that. So you start in a scratch, and slowly this whole thing expands to a bigger option. So in AI also, what this Newell and Simon, what they did is that they defined this physical symbol system hypothesis, and they were calling it that a physical symbol system which has necessary and sufficient means to make some general intelligent action. So to make some intelligent action, you have to just like a simple circuit, if it is there, that circuit is getting some input and giving some output, but that circuit is not composed of a IC. Inside that IC there are small say step by step a lot of components are connected, and those components are maybe made of silicon, and in that silicon there is a flow of electrons and holes. So this is a gradual process. The thing that I'm saying, maybe EC guys will understand from the scratch. The thing is that whatever we have the circuits nowadays, those who know that are made of, those who have done the basic electronics in your physics courses, is made up of diodes, transistors, and other things. And these diode and transistors are actually made by semiconductors. Now, the semiconductors that are there, the semiconductors have a something called a N junction and a P junction. So there you have flow of electrons and holes. So the system is like the electrons and holes, they flow. Based on that, the diode or transistor moves, and these diode and transistors are making the gates. The gates are making some digital circuits. Those digital circuits are making digital blocks, and those digital blocks is say forming a microprocessor or a microcontroller or your computer processor, whatever you call it. So whatever we are doing is starting from a scratch, and slowly it is going up. So that is the idea of a physical symbol system, which they are applying in AI. But before that, initially in 76, we were not that advanced. So they used to use different kind of symbols. Computer science guys, they use, they write it in the steps of algorithms, but for that algorithm, they have to write a lot of subroutines. Okay, so the basic idea is that here, just like if you have a mathematical equations, the mathematical equations, you will define that this is a divergence, that is a Laplacian, that is a curl, that is a vector, and these are the variables that are there, and so on. So stats guys will understand in that way. So I'm giving the example in that way. So mainly what we have is that this physical symbol system. So I'm saying there is a system of physical symbols which consist of entities, and these entities are called symbols. Symbols like, say, you know, how do you say pronounce a sentence? A sentence, if I see a big thesis, so whether it is a master degree thesis or PhD thesis, that thesis will have individual chapters and you'll have contents, and in individual chapters there will be individual say sections, subsections. Under those subsections, what you have different paras, and in those paras you are having different sentences. In those sentences there are some words, and inside those words you are having some alphabets. That is the normal system. So that is how we define for AI also. So what we call it is that we say that this physical symbol system consists of some set of entities, and we call those entities as symbols, which are actually physical patterns and they can occur. My patterns spelling is wrong. I think their N should be there. Anyway, when I typed it, I think it's wrongly typed. So that is patterns. Okay, PATTERNS. I missed out that. So that can occur as components of another type, and then they will form a expression. So, or you can say a symbol structure. And step by step, if you go down, the symbol structure will actually be composed of instances or tokens of symbols which are related to in some way. They will be correlated in some way. And every instant that we are having, in that instant of time, there will be a collection of these symbol structures and different things. And based on that, we have a process of creation, modification, reproduction, and destruction. So these are the four main processes in which it will work. So I hope you can correlate how this particular machine, whatever the machine is doing or a circuit is doing, or how you are writing a thesis, everything starts from a scratch and goes to a big thing. So it can be a top-down approach or a bottom-up approach, in whichever way you want to break it up. Getting? Means I can go from alphabets to words, words to sentences, sentences to paragraphs, paragraphs to say sections and subsections, then the chapter, then the whole thesis. Or I can take the thesis and then break it down from, so now it can be top down or bottom up. I hope you are getting this top down and bottom up approach. Getting? One is top down. You break from the top, the biggest one, and you go to the smallest one, or from the smallest one you merge and go to get the bigger one. So whichever one you want to do. I think those who have studied electrical and electronics, guys, in case you have studied a VLSI course, you know the top down and bottom up approach. Anyone of you? You are getting how we are defining the physical symbols? Getting or not? Otherwise, I'll explain again.
Please explain again.
See, what we are saying here is that in AI, Newell and Simons, they said what? A physical symbol system. Physical symbol system means you will put some symbols, but those symbols actually correspond to something else. And those things you can say are set of expressions or a symbol structure. And those structures are actually made of instances, and those instances will be a collection of different processes. That's why I had correlated it with how you write a thesis. So if you consider the physical symbol system to be the thesis, say this is say your thesis. So your thesis actually will not be done in one day. It will be done in step by steps. So how you are having it? You are having a set of alphabets. So you have some idea. So that idea you have to put down in a thesis. So you have to have it in blocks. You are from which department?
ECE, sir.
Okay, so if you are in ECE, so you can correlate with circuits. So in case of circuits, you are having a big circuit, say whichever, say you have your FM radio circuit. Now, if you have your FM radio circuit, in FM radio, what do you have? You have an antenna which is receiving the FM channels. You have a filter which will filter out and go to that particular channel which you are playing 98 point something or 100 and something. Now that filter is filtering out the thing and then it is playing. So you have a big box. That box is your FM player, or maybe in your mobile it is in an app form. So whatever is that, you have a FM receiver. So that is receiving. Now it is receiving, your antenna is there in general. It can receive all the channels within the range, but it will filter out one channel which you want to listen to. Means what? It is having a filter to do that. So it is having a filter in the next stage. So this filter is inside the FM. Now that filter is made up of some circuits. It is a digital circuit. If it is a digital FM radios, it will be a digital circuit. Now that digital circuit will consist of a microcontroller or a small say system on chip, means there is some processor there. Now that processor is made up of individual digital blocks, and inside that digital set of blocks, there are some gates. Those gates are made with transistors, and those transistors are behaving based on the flow of electrons and holes. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is how we are breaking down an electronic circuit. Similarly, if I make it in general so that even the stat students can understand, then that's why I had given the example of a thesis. The thesis is actually a collection of the work you have done in your PG. Now, whatever you have done in your PG, that is correlated in a thesis. You have some PG target given by your PG supervisor for the dissertation. So that thing you have done and you have put into say 5 or 6 chapters, or maybe more or maybe less, whatever it is. Now those chapters are actually having sections and subsections. The sections and subsections are again having different paragraphs, and in that paragraphs you are having sentences. These sentences are made of words. So whether you correlate with the circuit or you correlate with the thesis, what you are having, you have a top-down approach and a bottom-up approach. One case is that you can start from the alphabets and go to the big thesis, or you can start from the electrons and holes and go to the big circuit, or you can start from the circuit and come down to electron and hole, or you can start from the thesis and come down to the alphabets, isn't it? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear this part?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
in AI, what is happening? In AI, if we correlate what they were trying to do in way back in 1976, what they are trying to do, they are actually having a set of expressions like this is creation of a block, this is modification of a block, this is a reproduction of a block, this is a destruction of a block. Now these are different instances. These instances together are called tokens or instances. They form a symbol set of structures. So they were having some things in AI. So if you take a very old book, that's why I initially said that you can have a look in Rich and Knight. What they were doing, they were using instances, symbols and other things. Okay. So they were representing the knowledge acquired by any system based on some, say, knowledge is created, modified, reproduced and destroyed. Means if you correlate with your brain, how will you do? It is something like, say, every day in the morning I am coming and say logging in at say 10 a.m. Though your class is at 10:30, I am logging in at 10. Okay. So if I am logging it at 10, so anybody who is logging in between, though the class is at 10:30, anybody who is logging in between 10 to 10:30, I can say I can allow him or her in, like in a few classes Tanmoy was logging in, the Tanmoy of electronics was logging in first. In some classes I think Smita was logging in first, and so on. So whoever is logging in before 10:30, if I was logging in at 10:30, those persons would not have been able to log in, isn't it? Because I am the host. So if I don't log in first, so they will not be able to log in before 10:30, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
so you see here, I have logged in. So my approach is that now say someday I am late. So someday I am late means what? You know that today I am trying to log in at 10:25. I am not being able to log in. That means sir has not logged in, or sir has logged in, but sir is not with the mobile or with the laptop. So he is not being able to let me in. So you get that idea? Now out of 10 days, if it happens in one day, then you understand there is some reason. And if it is the other way around, you understand that, okay, 10:30 means sir will log in at 10:30. So we can say log in at 10:35, say 10:40 and so on. Now that difference is there. So there will be some teachers who will be logging in at 10:30, some teachers who will be logging say 5 minutes before 10:30, some teachers who will be logging in 10 minutes before 10:30 and so on. So there will be different patterns. Now the patterns of different teachers are different because they are in different individuals, as well as different students are different. Some students will log in exactly at time, and somebody like now Tanmay is logging in. So somebody is logging in now, somebody is logging in early, somebody that may be due to some reasons, and that may be due to say regular. In some cases, for those cases who are regular, so there is a pattern of the regular ones. There is some patterns for the means regular means either somebody is always logging in 10 minutes late or somebody is always logging in 10 minutes early. So that is the general pattern. So if this general pattern continues, what is happening? The creation of the formulation is happening. So if you have brain cells, I think everybody, basic biology, you know that the neurons are your brain cells, isn't it? Clear? Brain cells. So
Yes, sir.
brain cells, what happens? The brain cells are actually highly interconnected. All the brain cells are connected to each other. So what they are correlating this physical symbol is to the brain cell. What is happening? Say for example, somebody is a right-handed person. Now due to some, he will try to use his right hand everywhere, isn't it? Anybody who is right-handed will use his right hand. Anybody who is left-handed will be using his or her left hand. That is fixed. Now what happens? Due to some accident, he or she loses the working hand, means whether it is right or left. So automatically he or she will start to write in the other hand, even though it is not her initial the main working hand, isn't it? So let me leave out left and right. Let me say, okay, we are all right-handed. So most of us are right-handed. So let me consider somebody who is right-handed. He is always writing in the right hand. Due to something, he or she loses the hand. So he or she, if they have to continue the study and continue her day-to-day life, a lot of life is left ahead. They will start writing in the left hand, even though it is not the first hand which he or she would have liked, isn't it? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Getting? So now what has happened? Because of the hand being lost, the right hand being lost, the neuron connections of the right hand has been destroyed. Clear? Initially, it will not be automatically destroyed. Initially, you will see that even after losing the hand, he or she will try to bring in the right hand in every place. But because the hand is missing, slowly what happens? The neuron connections modify. So those interconnections, strong interconnections of the right hand will be destroyed, and there will be creation of new interconnections in the left hand. Earlier, the left hand was not that much, say, flexible in, you would not have a good handwriting with the left hand. But once your right hand is lost and you have no other option to write with your left hand only, then obviously the motor skills, fine motor skills and neuromotor skills of your left hand will say enhance. Getting the idea? So there will be more synapse connection. Those basic neural networks I'll be discussing later. So synaptic connections, they are called. There will be some modification in the synaptic connection and reproduction among the interconnections. The synapses, the bonds will become more stronger in that, isn't it? Just like you guys say maybe some of you were, say if you are not having any loss, all of you have done 12th and all of you have done a 4 years BTech course, and you are now doing a MTech or something. What is happening is that, say maybe there will be 1 or 2 of you who have done 12th together, who have done BTech together, who have done, say, who are doing now MTech together. So the bond between them will be more compared to the one who has met them only in the MTech, isn't it? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
these kind of modifications that they happen is among the entities. So if you consider you guys yourselves as the entities, there will be some creation, there will be some modification, there will be some reproduction and destruction of bond. झगड़ा हो गया तो destruction हो गया, दोस्ती हो गया तो creation हो गया, किसी ने किसी के साथ अच्छा था, अचानक किसी ने खराब बिहेव कर लिया तो मॉडिफिकेशन हो गया, या किसी ने आउट ऑफ द वे जाके किसी को हेल्प किया भी तो मॉडिफाई हुआ. पॉजिटिव वे, नेगेटिव वे, इन बोथ द वेज देयर आर मॉडिफिकेशंस. गेटिंग? And reproduction means what? There may be somebody coming from outside who is not related to you guys, and then you have a bond coming in into them. Clear? So you have creation, reproduction, modification, and destruction. The 4 processes are the general processes of these expressions or instances. These instances together form a symbol. The symbol क्या हो गया? ये सब इलेक्ट्रिकल और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का जो लोग है and say IT का हो गया, had this class been offline, तुम लोगों के लिए आपस में ज्यादा bond होता, isn't it? Now, the 5 branches who are doing this course, had this been offline, you would have more bonds among yourself, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now you are not having that amount of bond because it is happening online. You are now individual entities. So आपस में maybe the bond is stronger in the MCA students. Why? Can anybody tell me? Because they are doing a 3 years course. At least 1.5 साल तो ये लोग अब एक साथ क्लास किया. Online बाद में किया, but 1.5 साल तो ये लोग they have done classes together. Whereas the others are all in which semester? 3rd semester. MCA students are in 5th semester. So the bond among the MCA 4 students will be more compared to bond भी more होगा, झगड़ा होगा भी तो ज्यादा झगड़ा वाला होगा. If there is good relation, there will be very good relation. अगर खराब relation है तो खराब relation ज्यादा होगा. Compared to what is happening in case of the IT or electrical or stats or electronic students. But electrical और electronics वाले अगर ज्यादा त्रिपुरा वाले होंगे तो उसमें थोड़ा bond होगा because what is happening? They might have done the BTech course together. और stats वाला हो सकता है कि कोई अलग अलग state का है, दूसरी जगह से आया है, isn't it? Now in IT we don't have that kind of, because in IT everybody is allowed. MCA students are allowed, MSc students are allowed, BTech electrical, BTech electronics, BTech computer science, BTech IT, all are allowed. MCA students are allowed. So you have a varied kind of bond in case of MTech IT, whereas that may not be the case of electronics or electrical or even stats. Getting? So the bonding is happening based on something being repeated again and again. Just like you guys doing classes together and staying together, doing some assignments together, solving some problems together will actually enhance the bond, as well as sometimes it may be repulsive. Sometimes if the bond is strong, it will be a strong bond. It may be positive strong bond, it may be negative strong bond. Whatever is that, the bond will be strong. If it is length of the duration is more. If the length of duration is less, then it will be weak. Okay. Now, here what we are saying that these instances together make a symbol structure, and these symbol structures together form an expression. So I can consider the individual departments as separate instances and together the whole class as an expression. Okay. The whole class consisting of the 5 branches is the expression. Individual instances are the 5 branches separately, and among those individual instances you are having a collection of symbol structures which are, say, you students, 43 of you. Clear? Getting how I am correlating it with the symbol structures?
Yes, sir.
So the same thing happens in case of when you symbolize a machine with respect to what type of operation it has to do and what not. Clear? So as we discussed here, this is just an hypothesis, and there is no way to prove or disapprove this in a logical basis. Okay, but I can just give you instances with respect to the neurons, with respect to the thesis, with respect to you guys yourself as separate entities and instances and symbols, and the empirical validation may be true, may be false, and only way is the experimentation. Now, Lady Lovelace back in 61 had made the observation on Babbage's proposed artificial engine. Babbage is considered as the father of computer. He had proposed the artificial engine in 1842, which later on he modified to the computer. And Lady Lovelace say around 120 years later, you can see that year 1842, and Lady Lovelace gave in 1961. So that is around 120 years later made an observation. So what observation she made is that a particular task that might be regarded as requiring intelligence if it is selected, but what happens? The sub-symbolic models like neural networks are the beginning the challenge of these in the low-level tasks. Low-level tasks initially they were not as advanced. So whatever the artificial engine initially Babbage had made, that they initially called it as a computer, but later on they said that that is also having sub-symbolic, but instead if we can apply those sub-symbolic relationships in neural networks, it will challenge the system, and in case we can do some low level task, then it can correlate it. So in 80 you have this book named as Mathematics and Humor. Okay, Mathematics and Humor means it is a general book given by Ploss in 1980. It's a name of a book. Okay, Mathematics and Humor is a name of a book. So this book, which came out in 1980, was based on, to some extent, of what Lady Lovelace made the observation. So those observations that they did it like what she did is that she had taken the operating mechanism that was there, and she had given some action plans independently to object to operate upon. Say it may be say for numbers and some mutual fundamental relations between the numbers, then abstract of signs of operations that are there, then and there may be they may be susceptible to the different adaptations that can be there, and you can use that for some musical harmony, musical compositions, some expressions you can use for. You can, just like what happens, say many of you know that our various music directors, they copy a lot of songs, isn't it? यहाँ का म्यूजिक उधर में डाल दिया, इधर का म्यूजिक उधर में डाल दिया. So if you consider these symbols as different expressions, मान लो मैं क्या किया, जो 3-4 बीटल्स का 2-3 गाना से 2-3 सेट ऑफ स्टैंजास ऑफ म्यूजिकल कंपोजिशन उठाया और उसमें हिंदी गाना का बोली डाल दिया, isn't it? Beatles have done the music long back. और या फिर बीथोवन का पुराना म्यूजिक डाल के इसमें हिंदी का बोल डाल दिया या बंगाली का बोल डाल दिया. It will appear मतलब it is plagiarism only, but it will say we are taking the intent symbol. अभी जो people who are not aware of Beethoven or who are not aware of Beatles or Western music, they will not know अरे Western music का ट्यून उठा के इसमें हमारा फोक म्यूजिक का ये अगरतला का बोली डाल दिया. वो लॉट ऑफ ये भजन कीर्तन का होता है ना, वो कौन कौन सा म्यूजिक का गाना उठा के उसमें भजन का गाना डाल देता है, isn't it? You have seen that?
Yes, sir.
So that kind of thing you can do. अभी उसमें तो डायरेक्टली पता चल जाता है भजन का, मान लो ये वाला के साथ ये वाला भजन का गड़बड़ कर दिया, मतलब कोई एक हिट फिल्म, हिंदी फिल्म का गाना का म्यूजिक उठा के उसके ऊपर हिंदी म्यूजिक का वो क्या बोलते गाना को हटा के मैं भजन कीर्तन का ये डाल दिया. So it is easily decipherable. But once you do one thing, के you take different musical notes from different parts and then अभी 4 मूवी से 5 अलग अलग गाने का मैं अगर एक स्टैंजा का म्यूजिक उठा के एक सिंगल म्यूजिक बना लूंगा, तो किसको पता चलेगा कौन सा वाला है? हम लोग का जैसा ऑथेंटिकेट भी नहीं है कि प्लेगरिज्म डिटेक्ट कर पाए, isn't it? So that is the basic idea here. What Lady Lovelace is that she had gone through the observation of this Babbage's proposed artificial engine, and she had studied the operating. So she had written that I'll just tell you line by line what she had written. She had written that the operating mechanism can even be thrown into an action plan independently of any object to operate upon. Okay, although the course of no result could be developed. No result kind of कभी कभार hang जैसे हो जाता है ना system, वैसा भी हो सकता है. Again, it might act upon other things beside the numbers. ये object के बदले numbers के बदले object हो सकता है, and there may be some mutual fundamental relationships which could be expressed in those kind of things. Getting? So it is something like, say I ask you, anybody has seen say class 1-2 kids books where what they'll do, they'll give a diagram, and in that diagram they have not colored it, they have put numbers. Say 1 means red, 2 means blue, 3 means gray, 4 means say red and other things. कोई एक सीनरी है, बच्चा का किताब में कैसे होगा कि वो कर दिया clouds, में 1 डाल दिया तो 1 में भी इक्वल टू, नीचे में लिख दिया 1 इक्वल टू ग्रे। फिर एक हाउस ड्रॉ किया, उसका ऊपर छत पे 2 लिख दिया, फिर उसका वॉल में 3 लिख दिया, विंडो में 4 लिख दिया, दरवाजे में 5 लिख दिया। एंड व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज दैट यू हैव टू गो टू द बुक्स एंड उसमें पीछे में लिखा हुआ है 1 मींस दिस कलर, 2 मींस दिस कलर, 3 मींस दिस कलर, ऐसा है, isn't it? You have seen this kind of books which say kindergarten students use? Anybody has seen?
Yes,
तो
sir.
अभी अगर बच्चा वो चार्ट नहीं देख के वो बोलेगा नहीं, आई विल नॉट फॉलो दैट चार्ट, मैं मेरा मर्जी है कि छत में रेड कलर ही दूंगा, तो देने दो, दैट इज हिज और हर क्रिएटिविटी, isn't it? But what the person who had thought he had given that kind of thing, now this thing, if I tell a good old person के अच्छा आप तो ये कलर डालना है तो वो डाल देगा, but जो बच्चा inquisitive है and he is having a brain of his own, he will not follow the rules, he will उसको रेड कलर पसंद है तो छत पे भी डाल दिया, दरवाजे में भी लाल डाल दिया, घर पूरा ही लाल कर दिया, that may be there. So the basic idea is that here system, this is an abstract kind of science, and the operations that are there, they can be regulated, they may not be regulated. If somebody follows the rules, it will be regulated. If somebody doesn't follow the rules, it is not regulated. So that's why Poulos in his book Mathematics and Humor said that you can give some mathematical derivations. Statistics, somebody is there? Stats? Stats का आज कोई नहीं है क्या? Anyway,
sir.
okay, so in stats you have some axioms, you have some theorems, isn't it? Mathematics, statistics में.
Sir.
So those axioms and theories that are there, if you have some theorem, you prove that thing step by step. Proof होने के बाद मान लो if I have proved that A equal to B and later on I have proved B equal to C, then it may be that A is equal to C if there is no conditions. But if there are conditions, even if A equal to B and B equal to C, but if they are for different set of conditions, then A may not be equal to C. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
There may be some conditional A equal to B and B equal to C, and there may be some unconditional A equal to B and unconditional B equal to C. If it is unconditional A equal to B and unconditional B equal to C, then unconditionally A will be equal to C. But if there are set of conditions for which A equal to B and there are set of conditions where B equal to C, then A equal to C may be equal in few conditions of those two cases if they match, and if they totally are from different sets, then they will not match at all, isn't it? Then you cannot write A equal to C. Getting? So this A equal to B, B equal to C, they are the different symbols and instances which we correlate to, and that is what Lady Lovelace saw in the artificial engine developed by Babbage in 1842. Babbage had made a simple calculator kind of thing, but at that time that calculator was a computer. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So like that, you have different levels of task and different levels of intelligence. So the importance of this physical system hypothesis is that first thing is that it is significant theory of nature of human intelligence. That's why I had correlated with the hand being cut off and you develop the left hand to do the work of the right hand and write the things and other things, isn't it? Second, and this is mainly, that is why it is of very importance to the psychologists. Second thing is that it forms the basis of the belief that it is possible to build programs that can perform intelligent tasks like us. So that is why this physical symbol hypothesis is that if we can break up the whole set of object into small instances, just like our brain does a lot of things with the help of small neurons, then it is easy for us to represent the whole thing in terms of some symbols, instances, tokens and other things, and make a bigger job done with a set of small instances. Clear? So are these two related? So the AI technique which says that these are related or not, so AI has a very broad spectrum and I'll be discussing the various AI applications in my next class. I may not be able to complete it, but I'll try to do what? By next week, before Puja, I'll try to complete the different AI application so that after Puja, I can go deep into the neural networks. Okay. So they appear to have very very few things in common, except that they are very hard. Hard means all the AI programs, if you are not accomplished, know that it appears that it is a very hard thing. But if you know what steps they are there, if you break them up into smaller things, then they are easy. Okay. So the question is that, are there any techniques that are appropriate for the solution of variety of these problems? So there are some. What, if anything, we can say about these techniques beside the fact that they manipulate, because time to time you have to manipulate the symbols? And how could we tell those techniques might be useful for solving other problems of the different AI tasks? So if we have these questions in account, for that you require what? The knowledge. So for that, what you have to do is that we have to have properties that have to be similar to that. So last 3-4 decades, means 30 to 40 years, AI research has say found out that intelligence requires knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you cannot have intelligence. Simple as that. Okay. And to compensate for this overpowering asset, what you have to do, you have to have less desirable properties, like it is voluminous. Voluminous means nowadays what is happening? As I had given the example of deep learning, in deep learning what is happening? We can now think of deep learning because now we have data coming cheap. We can have Google Cloud with 1300 rupees, say 100 GB will be with you for anybody who, I don't think you have procured the thing. Anybody who's having a lot of say photos and other things, you can procure, like Google Cloud, they are allowing in your Google Drive they are allowing only 15 GB if I am not wrong, isn't it? Like we have a Tripura University account, so we have 30 GB in words, but we can have more also because we are having a academic cloud. Or say I am a IEEE member, so for my IEEE membership I have 30 GB separately for my IEEE dot, because that is an organization account.
Sir, does Tripura University provide Edu email?
No, ac.in. .ac.in. Academic Institute, so .ac.in. You can see my email is sonirban_majumdar@tripurauniv.ac.in. Earlier it was .in, okay, but later on we have, so now presently we have both the IDs, but we are trying to use .ac.in. But what happens is that, say I was previously in a different institution. Well, that was in a different domain, because NIT will have a different domain, IIT will have a different domain. All the IITs, separate IITs have separate domain. Like for my case, what I do is that I have been IEEE members in my students' days. You are from electrical or electronics? Shubham?
Sir, I am from electrical department.
Okay, so like what I have been doing is that normally what happens, many of you during your PG days will be publishing some papers, and there what happens nowadays we have a ORCID ID or Google Scholar also. You can have a ID in case you are having some publication, whether it is conference or journal in DOI format. DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier. So if your publication is in DOI format, that is there. Now what happens there is that if you use your Gmail ID, now if you use your Gmail ID, that's why I told for NPTEL also try to maintain the same ID. The ORCID or Google Scholar considers you, say your email ID is xyz@gmail.com. So they will define xyz@gmail.com as a person. Now say after some day you join some organization and you get a different ID, and now you publish with that ID. What will happen? They will not consider two of you as the same person. They'll consider both the, because there are two emails, they'll consider them as two different people. So you have to convey it to IEEE, or you have to convey it to Springer that these two emails are my emails. So that is a hell lot of work. So like my case, individual case, I can tell you what I have been doing is that during my student days in a PG or PhD, I have published some papers. At that time also my email ID was sonirbhar@ieee.org because I used the organizational ID of IEEE. Later on, I joined a separate academic institute. There they were giving me academic ID, but I used my IEEE ID. Now I am in Tripura University. Tripura University has also given me a ID. I use that for my official email and other things, but for my publication, I don't use that. Why I don't use that? So that all of them are clubbed together. Now I could have used my Gmail ID also. No problem in that. But some of you may be having some Gmail ID like www dot something. Somebody will have your home names there. Somebody will have some. So this doesn't look good once you start publishing. Okay. So that is now my name is unique. So that's why I got a email in Gmail, Yahoo and other things by my name directly. So that was not an issue. Tripura University didn't give me because they have the policy of putting surname and full name first. But here also, if I wanted, I could get a unique ID because my spelling is unique. But some of you may not be having a unique spelling. Like we have in MCA, we have Payal there. In some other departments also some Payals are there. So that is one common name. Vishal is also a common name. A lot of names are common and a lot of names are uncommon. But what you can do, you can, if you have a, say whatever email ID you put, you keep it fixed in, say you use your Gmail ID, no problem in that, but keep it fixed, whether it is whatever publication it is. So from my student days, I was an IEEE member, so I used my IEEE ID, luckily or unluckily. But the thing is that if you change your email ID, what is happening? It is happening that they are considered as two different people because automatically they have a automatic detection system for that. So like now you are having 15 GB free and you continue to use that email ID and that is Google's policy also. Say maybe in between next 5 years, you change your phone 4 or 5 times. All your photos are there in your mobile phone and all of them are going to your Google Drive, isn't it? All of you?
Yes, sir.
So what is happening is that after 15 GB, you have to pay Google or you have to delete some photos. Getting the problem now? How Google is going to make the money?
Yes, sir.
So either इतना फोटो भेज दिया वो व्हाट्सएप में रेगुलर डाउनलोड कर रहा है और मोबाइल के मेमोरी तो खा ही रहा है. अगर गलती से गूगल ड्राइव के साथ भी व्हाट्सएप का फोल्डर लिंक कर दिया तो क्या 15 GB ऐसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा फॉरवर्ड मेल्स. So the idea of intelligence, now Google is able to do so many things using deep learning because of the fact that it is having a voluminous amount of data. तुमको free दे रहा है मतलब क्या? Google is taking the access of your mobile phone, this data, images and videos and everything. So if they are giving it to you free, means they are having access to that. So this voluminous amount of data that you are giving, Google is using it to train its network so that the AI is easily trained. So say, just to give you an example, कोई अगर recently सी बीच या पहाड़ में गया तो वहां पे बहुत सारा फोटो खींचा, Google will automatically, if you have it connected to your Google Drive, they will make a collage or something, sun and the sea or on the hills, on kind of thing comes up on the automatically because Google is able to recognize your hills in the photos or the beach in the photos or the sea in the photos. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So I think you might have experienced it, isn't it? Those who have say visited. अभी तो कोरोना के लिए तो बंद है, but anyway, you might have experienced it. So main thing is that you have voluminous amount of data, and it is very hard to characterize accurately. But what you can do? सब में तो तुम्हारा चेहरा correctly नहीं होगा. Facebook भी तुम्हारा data लेके बोल देता है, so you might be in this picture kind of thing, but your picture may not be correct. But sometimes it may be hard to characterize. But sometimes even if that is there, they can apply some algorithms, like say this person is your family member. Every time whenever he or she is there in the picture, they are nearby. So if there are 10 photos, in 9 you are there, and in the 10th one there is say 30% chance of you being there, they'll make that 30% chance along with the probability of the previous 9 to 70% chance. Clear? Getting? So though it is hard to characterize accurately, based on the voluminous nature, if they can do the representation of the symbols, then they can characterize that, and that will be constantly changing. Constantly changing means in your UG days you were roaming around with say 10 people. In your PG days you will be roaming around with 10 other people. Now out of those 10 people, 1 or 2 may be common, 1 or 2 may be uncommon, but last 4 years these were the common people in your pictures, and next 2 years these are the people who are common in your picture, isn't it? And it differs from data being organized in a way that corresponds to the ways it can be used. Say for example, you can do it in this way, like anybody is having a brother or a sister who are there in most of their pictures. What you can do, you take your pictures that is actually correlated with your camera of your mobile with say your Google Drive, and then Google identifies the faces, like say X is the brother and Y is the sister. They are there in lot of pictures because they roam around, or XY are say 2 brothers or 2 sisters, or a brother and a sister, whatever it is. They are there in most of the pictures, so they'll identify them. Once they identify, say in X and Y, in both their mobiles, they'll have a different set of pictures. What you can do, instead of sending her all the pictures or sending him all the pictures, what is the use? You can directly have the auto identification there in your Google Drive. What happens? अभी तुम्हारे पास 10 फोटो है, तुम्हारे भाई के पास भी 10 फोटो है. Total, both of you are there in 20 photos. 10 were taken by X mobile and 10 was taken by Y mobile. अभी यू विल से अरे मुझे फोटो भेज, उसको भी बोलेगा फोटो भेज. क्या जरूरत है? गूगल को तो डबल डाटा मिल जाएगा ना तुम लोगों का. उससे अच्छा क्या करो, गूगल ऑलरेडी हैज योर डाटा. X1 X2 करके X10 तक तुम्हारा मोबाइल में है, Y1 Y2 करके Y10 तक उसका है. What you do, based on the recognition system of Google, you know your brother's email ID, so you make an album for X and make an album for Y in your mobile. Let him also make the same thing, and you share Y's album with X and X album with Y. What will happen? Once the photos are taken, automatically you'll get it. That is what I have done with my wife. Okay, I don't send her photos, she doesn't send me photos. Why? Because whatever photos are taken in her mobile automatically gets shared with my email, and my photos get shared with her email. अभी WhatsApp में डालो, भेजो इसको, इधर से इधर भेजो, ये अपलोड करेगा, वो अपलोड करेगा. What do you need that? You don't need that. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So you are saving that 15 GB of data. दोनों मिलके तो 30 GB मिल रहा है ना? Getting the idea? AI को you use AI with benefit. AI जब इतना मेहनत कर रहा है तो उसको बेनिफिट के लिए यूज करो. गूगल को पैसा क्यों देना है? You are people who are well accustomed to the technology. Just try to avoid sending. हाँ, अभी कोई दूसरा है जिसने फोटो भेजने के लिए, you send them. But जो तुम्हारा साथ always is there, you share a folder. You are just sharing his pictures with. अभी जैसे मान लो कि हम लोग का ये MCA का 4 स्टूडेंट्स है, विशाल है, दिव्यज्योति है, स्वर्णाली है, पायल है. तो ये लोग हम लोग का यहाँ पे विश्वकर्मा पूजा होगा या हम लोग कुछ वर्कशॉप किए, उन लोगों का फोटो सब एक साथ है. ऑटोमेटिकली उन लोग का मोबाइल में आइडेंटिफाई हो गया. तो विशाल का इसमें मान लो क्या हो गया, ये पायल का फोटो, ग्रुप ऑफ फोटोज इन विच पायल इज प्रेजेंट, ग्रुप ऑफ फोटोज वेयर स्वर्णाली इज प्रेजेंट, ग्रुप ऑफ फोटोज वेयर दिव्यज्योति इज प्रेजेंट. तो विशाल क्या करेगा, ये वाला पायल का, स्वर्णाली का और दिव्यज्योति का इन लोग का आपस के ईमेल के साथ शेयर कर दिया. गेटिंग विशाल?
Yes, sir.
तो ऑटोमेटिक आइडेंटिफाई होता है ना तुम्हारा इसमें गूगल ड्राइव में.
Yes, sir.
तो उन लोगों के साथ शेयर कर दो, उसको भेजने का क्या जरूरत है. और सिमिलरली those 3 also will be doing the same thing for them. सबको सबका फोटो है और किसी का भी डबल कॉपी फोटो नहीं है.
Yes, sir.
गेटिंग? So I'm just giving you an instance where you can take the advantage of AI because you are doing this course, so you should be trying to take the advantage of that. Clear this part?
Yes, sir.
Anybody who has used this feature? किसी ने यूज किया है अभी तक?
Yes, sir. Google Photos does that, na?
Yes, yes.
Automatically.
Yes. So yeah, if it is selecting automatically, अभी तुमको बाकी तुम्हारा 3 दोस्तों को फोटो भेजने का क्या जरूरत है व्हाट्सएप में?
Yes, sir.
तुम लोग 3 साल यहाँ पे हो, so you'll have a lot of photos together. तो बेकार में उसको फोटो भेजने का क्या जरूरत है? गूगल ही भेज देगा. तुम जीमेल आईडी लगा दो उन लोगों का गूगल फोटोज में तुम्हारा साथ जितना फोटोज है सब आ जाएगा और तुमको भी इन रिटर्न उन लोगों से मिल जाएगा. Neither your space will be overloaded, neither their space will be overloaded. Getting the idea?
Yes, sir.
So, to conclude, these AI techniques and methods that are there, they exploit the knowledge that should be represented in that way. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? यहाँ पे representation हो रहा है. विशाल का face is represented by Vishal being in the picture. Sharnali का face is being represented as Sharnali is in the picture. Payal ka face represents Payal is in the picture, and Dipjyoti's face represents that Dipjyoti is in the picture, isn't it? So these are just, they have some knowledge representation which is going on, and based on that they identify that. So the knowledge captures do the generalizations. It can be understood by people who must be providing it. Okay. So it can easily be modified to correct errors and to reflect. अभी मान लो कि कोई एक पिक्चर में विशाल और दीपज्योति है, लेकिन दीपज्योति थोड़ा शेड के अंदर में है और उसको आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पा रहा है गूगल के दीपज्योति है, तो उसमें विशाल मैन्युअली क्लिक कर देगा कि दीपज्योति ये है, जैसे हम लोग फेसबुक में टैग करते हैं, isn't it? यहाँ मान लो कि दीपज्योति का भाई उधर में है, दीपज्योति नहीं है, दीपज्योति का भाई है, लेकिन वो फोटो दीपज्योति को भेजना है तो टैग कर दो ना, दीपज्योति को मिल जाएगा. Clear? So it can be used for great many situations, even if it is not totally accurate or complete, and it can be used to overcome its own sheer bulk by helping to narrow the range of possibilities that might usually be considered. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you. So that's why I had given a practical example. Okay, I hope all of you got that practical example.